Well, someone who's not in the mainstream media but might as well be, just signed a multi-trillion-dollar contract with Spotify for his podcast. Now, I'm a huge fan of the Joe Rogan podcast. I love the Joe Rogan podcast. This is the fifth thing that I think you need to know about today. I like Joe Rogan a lot. I've interviewed him years ago. He was very kind to me, but I completely disagree with what he said yesterday on his show, and I think it's dangerous. It's dangerous for a number of reasons, not the least of which it's false. It's been totally debunked. And I've actually seen some comments here in my thread about, echoing some of these false statements and spreading this misinformation about what's going on with these wildfires up in Portland, and that they're being set by arsonists and left-wing nutjob and arsonists. So I'm going to play what he said, and we'll talk about why this is dangerous and wrong.
Enjoy going there. I actually love Portland. It's one of my favorite places to perform. Most of the people there are very nice, but there's a madness going on there. You want to talk about madness of crowds? That exemplifies that right now. And it's to me, they've arrested people for lighting forest fires up there. They've arrested left-wing people for lighting these forest fires. Air quote activists. And this is something that's also not widely being reported, that people have actually been arrested for lighting fires up there.
Joe, the reason it hasn't been widely reported is because it's not true. In fact, it's been debunked, and it's been debunked by the FBI specifically. So I'll tell you exactly why it's been debunked. According to the Portland FBI office, they specifically shot down this claim, issuing a statement saying that they had investigated such alleged left-wing conspiracy theories, and they are untrue. They are deemed to be untrue. And two men were arrested over the past weekend on charges of arson, but police confirmed that they were neither related to left-wing political activism or that the wildfires had any connection to these particular arsons. I mean, arson happens all the time. I had one of a rental property that I owned set on fire, burned down. A few doors down from me, where we live in Pennsylvania, someone set a house on fire. Poor veteran was building his dream house, like a little log cabin in the woods, and it was almost done. He was about to move into it, and some idiot in the middle of the night set it on fire. Yeah, it happens all the time. Arson happens all the time, sadly. But these two that were arrested had nothing to do with Antifa setting wildfires ablaze. So it's dangerous to, he's got millions of listeners. And so when he goes on the air like that and says that, left-wing activists are setting wildfires and contributing to what's happening out west, and then President Trump picks it up and starts talking about it, this is the kind of dangerous crap that gets spread around on Facebook. And then, your mom sends you a message. Did you see this? Those Antifa kids are setting the wildfires out west. That's awful. And they believe it. So that's why we try to cover the truth here on this show and do what we can. Joe's a good guy. I mean, hopefully he'll maybe correct that on his show today and say I was wrong about that. He is not one to shy away from admitting when he's wrong. So I hope that he'll do the right thing on that. But that is dangerous territory. Those are the 5 things that I think you need to know about today that caught my radar.